Hi, this is Yolanda Van Veen from VanVeenBulbs.com, and in this segment we're going to talk about how to care for lily bulbs. Now, lily bulbs are not that different from onions or garlic or any other type of bulb that you use as a vegetable. So when you store them, you want to make sure that they stay moist and not too dry. And to care for them, the safest place is always in the ground. And they need a cold winter. So if you live in San Diego, you've got to actually dig them up and keep them in a bag with some soil in the refrigerator for a few months. So basically, my rule of thumb to care for lily bulbs is they're a natural being just like anybody else. So you don't want to separate the babies from the mamas till they're as big as the mamas. So periodically you'll separate them. But if you have babies, always keep them with the mamas because the babies aren't going to do much by themselves. And if you're ever storing them, either store them right into a container with soil about 3 inches deep. Keep that container kind of moist but not dripping wet. And you want it to dry out as well. But you never want it to be wet or dry at the same time. And then when you're putting them or storing them in a bag, it's very easy to do that too. Just keep them in a bag with some soil. You want to make sure the whole thing's covered up because they'll continue to root in the bag because it's recreating outside environment. So even over the winter, they're going to continue to grow in the bag. So store them either at outside temperature. They can get down to 30 degrees. You can actually freeze them or throw them in the refrigerator. Or I just put them out in a shop or the garage, somewhere where it's close to outside temperature so they can stay on the natural cycle. Lilies can't handle it any colder than minus 30 degrees, and at the same time they've got to have some kind of a chill so they have a dormant period and come back from year to year. So if you live in San Diego, put them in soil, throw them in the refrigerator for 3 months. In the wintertime, replant them, they'll come right up. And if you live in a real cold climate, do the opposite. Keep them in the garage or the house or the basement somewhere where it's still cool but not minus 30 degrees. And taking care of lily bulbs is really easy because you don't have to do a lot. You can keep them in containers. Make sure if they are in a container that they stay on the dry side for the winter because if it's soaking wet and turns into an ice cube, sometimes they can rot on you. But lily bulbs are easy to care for and they will bloom where they're planted.